right, well, look at this for night number. Well, you can't look at it if I'm going to get in the way, but look at this for night number 2 here. Now, on paper, on whiteboard, poster board, I guess, more accurately, you got great openers with 46 days and mics. Got this monster hood down here. You got a slave in there. You got a mini 1.0 set. All right, well, you got the rock and roll cover to close. So, see some legends in there mixed throughout. But I have to say, night 2 here at Mansfield kind of felt like night 1, the tour opener. Had some big highs. Oh, look, there's the mics. All right, calm down, everybody. If you were worried about what happened to Mike's song. Okay, nobody was really that worried. We got a solid, nice telephone ringing, Wolfman's brother. And what kind of maze did we get? All right, we'll go back up here to 46 days. That's how we got things cooking tonight. And it did not go too deep, It just came out, setting the tone. And that's a pretty good opener, really, It's jam or no jam, really, I don't know if there's, maybe people hate 46 days. I don't know, but a pretty solid opener right there. Then we follow that up quickly with Water in the Sky. I suppose maybe was that indeed the case? Water in the Sky seems to be only the times we're going to get that. Outdoor shows in the summer when there's a little bit of rain, perhaps threatening even, then everything's right. Okay, now we're picking it up. If they tipped their toes into the jamming water there, now maybe we're knee deep for everything's right. And it tried, that song most of the time, actually, that song kind of delivers, believe it or not. Like I always say about it, just like all those songs, the Set Your Soul Free, Soul Planet. Unfortunately, they usually have a great jam, so can't bag on them too much. So everything was okay. Maybe not right, not perfect. And then we get into Riff. They just love playing Riff, don't they? And I like Riff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-Riff or anything. But man, how does Riff just seem to stay along? They got so many great songs. New songs like Wave of Hope and Howling find their way in. But there is Riff yet again. Summer of 22, still a regular. Wolfman's brother, always happy that it's going to be a regular. Guy like I mentioned maybe before, got a solid telephone ring there. And the jamming, the intensity, Trey really bringing it there, kind of getting a feel from what we got last night out of him. And of course, everybody getting in on the action up to this point. And then Maze, Trey says it's back. And by it's back, he means just regular Maze. I don't know if we're going with fast Maze, If you've heard the 94 mazes with just smoke coming off stage, then this is just like regular modern Maze, not a slow Maze. So it's back, and then right here, man, clearly, easily the winner of the first set for me. If they dipped their toes in, they got knee deep, man, they went balls deep right here. The bathtub gin, Trey just doing all kinds of cool stuff, not just your normal, hey, let's rock out, work to the peak. Playing some cool stuff, sounding great. Mike and Fishman, of course, and Paige back there howling. I know we got the howling, but sometimes I just hear Paige back there howling. And then it did not, unfortunately, end the set. What a great set closer that would have been. We get the rock and roll cover to end it. And then here's the mics. After last night's Week of Pog, the naked Week of Pog, as they're calling it on the streets, we get mics coming out. And they kind of rush through it, Not a whole lot going on there in the mics. Pretty much just a good, I hate the word standard. And so do a lot of you, I'm sure, when it comes to Mike's groove. Well, we got pretty much a standard mics into hydrogen. And then what would fill the gap here? Well, it was indeed Carini. It felt so much like they were going to go into Week of Pog right here. But no, we get Carini. Carini sounds like, all right, what's the jam going on here? We got something nice going with this Carini jam. And then just out of nowhere, Trey just starts singing Blaze On. It was a very clunky jump into Blaze On. I guess technically it was an alligator mouth. But then once they get there, the other guys are like, all right, I guess we're doing this now. Sounded really cool, actually. And then it got into the jam, not a whole lot. And then it gives way to Golden Age, which got a big pop from the crowd. Noticeably, irribly heard. And noticeably, I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. You could hear it, all right? The crowd was like, we like Golden Age, and it kind of delivers right there. It doesn't kind of deliver. It does, in fact, deliver. But then we get into this Howling, Wave of Hope. The Howling's got some potential. Wave of Hope, I'm sorry. I love Trey. A lot of the stuff he does, but I'm just not down with that Quarantine album. Maybe a song or two, I don't know. But the Wave of Hope, just not quite hitting me. Howling in there, as I said. And then Hood. Hood it wasn't really the cleanest Hood. We'll still take it as a set closer. I think I mentioned recently, it's got to be just like, if it's a rage and bring the house down, leaving you just like, oh my God. Those kind of Hoods. But tonight it was just like, all right, it was Harry Hood, I don't know what was happening. It just didn't feel real clean. There was parts like, I'm not feeling it. Sometimes you just feel it in your taint when Hood hits it right. Wasn't quite the spot tonight. Then, like I mentioned, we get a little mini It's 1.0 set here. We get a Bouncin, and then they left plenty of time, assuming they were going to leave the stage around 11 tonight. Feel like they left themselves plenty of time for the encore. And it was Bouncin NICU, like boom, boom. We get through those, and then Slave to the Traffic Light. Ooh. Again, maybe not like peak, the greatest Slave I've ever heard, but what a way to end it if you're leaving Mansfield. Slave to the Traffic Light, hitting you there. So, like I said, there was some, the highs were really high with Bathtub Gin. I feel like stole the night for sure. You know, we put some clothes on Weekapog with mics and hydrogen there. Golden Age, everybody went wild. That's nice to hear. Carini, we were headed somewhere, and Trey was like, nah, I feel like singing Blaze On. Hopefully the rest of the band joins in. We got a hood that, you know, could use a little washing. Wave of Hope. I'm sorry, Trey, I love you. Wave of Hope, I don't love you. And then, well, let's not recap the recap. Bathtub Gin wins. You know, I'm rarely on. They're on a lot more than me, so we'll just leave it at that. Boom. Thanks for watching.